All right, this is my Prezi presentation. I'm Cheridan Hawkins and I'm doing a presentation on cyberbullying. My first slide's about why do we deny that cyberbullying exists, and I think it has to do with parents not thinking their children can bully other kids. We're in denial that their child couldn't do that and that that's not them and they would never hurt another child, but in reality it happens. It may not, you may not want it to be your kid, but it might be, and we have to face reality and teach our children that it's not okay instead of just ignoring it and brushing it aside like we tend to do. Another thing I think why we deny that cyberbullying exists is that we claim it's just a phase. Oh, they're just going to do this for this is just temporary. But for the person that's being bullied, it's not temporary. At the time they're really hurting. Like what kids say to each other is rude and it can stay with you forever. And even though maybe some simple thing like your hair is ugly, like that could be very important to somebody. And I don't think kids realize that those words are hurtful, and parents need to realize it's not just a phase because you're affecting someone, and we have to make sure that we don't allow our children to bully other children. I decided to focus on cyberbullying in high school because I feel that kids say a lot more hurtful things in high school and they tend to be a lot meaner, and that they gang up in groups and go after certain people, like kids that may not be as considered as popular, as cool as the cool kids, and so they attack them. And I think cyberbullying in high school can make a very big impact on kids, and I would like to focus on that. One type of cyberbullying is definitely working in groups. Kids gang up with their friends and go after certain people so that they can hurt them, and they tend to do this maybe in group messages on cell phones, or they just call and say horrible things over the phone, and they talk to the kids' friends they're bullying and say bad things about them so that kids don't have any friends, and they they work to where this kid is basically feels alone, and it's very effective. The kid gets bullied very badly, and I I just think that's terrible that kids gang up on each other like that, but it's definitely one of the ways kids are being bullied. Another type of cyberbullying is definitely on social media. You hear a lot of like people making fake Facebooks and then add the kids and they message them just horrible thing after horrible things, to where this person just feels like they're not good. They're not good enough for anybody, and that can really beat a person down. I know it would definitely affect me. And I had a girl in my hometown create an Instagram, a fake Instagram, and what she did is would post people's prom pictures and say absolute horrible things about the girls in their dresses and their hair and their makeup and etc. And it I had some friends that got posted on that site, and I know personally that it really hurt their feelings. Like that's that's a big impact because first of all you don't know who's doing it, and second of all they're just dissing you on a day you felt the most beautiful or felt good about yourself. And it's just in social media is being manipulated to hurt other kids, and it's effective, but it's really sad. One negative cyberbullying is if kids get pushed too far, and they feel like they don't have anything to live for and that nobody wants them there after all their friends leave them and people don't talk to them at school, and it's just they might take their lives. And suicide is definitely a negative cyberbullying. After a while, a kid can only get beaten down so long before they feel like they're not welcome or wanted. Another negative cyberbullying is definitely kids not wanting to go to school, refusing to go to school because they don't want to be surrounded by the kids they're being bullied by. Like I personally know I wouldn't want to go see someone who's saying hurtful things to me every day and talking bad about me to other people and attacking me on social media and texting me during school horrible messages, and I wouldn't want to go face that either at school. And that's definitely one of the negatives of cyberbullying, and parents are having to deal with forcing their children to go to school because they have to, and that's a horrible situation. It's definitely a negative of cyberbullying. another negative cyberbullying is just how emotional kids get. Like it really affects you after you get horrible things said to you for a long period of time. You start to believe them, and your confidence starts to go down, and you're an emotional person because these people have convinced you that you're not cool and you're not good enough, but in reality you should only worry about being good enough for yourself. But that's hard to do when you have a group of people attacking you or one person constantly attacking you. It can really affect your life. It can affect your grades. It can affect your attitude. It can affect, your family. And cyberbullying can beat you down to where you feel like you're not good. And it's really sad to see that that happens to kids. Teacher intervention. I definitely think as teachers, we need to be more aware of kids who are acting different and are not as cooperative in class and aren't turning in homework, and you know take the time to talk to them and open up and see if they're okay. And it may not be necessarily cyberbullying, but just be open, like hear these kids out. And also, I think at the beginning of the year, teachers should really make a point to let students know that to come talk to them, that cyberbullying is not okay, and that they can speak to them and it will be handled because there is a zero tolerance for that. And I think that's really important for kids to know that teachers are going to be there for them. I think another important intervention is parents. Parents seeing a difference in their children, you know, the friends they're hanging out with, or if they're not having friends over as often as they did, and just recognizing that their child is acting different and kind of being very unsocial and very low confidence, like those kind of physical keys. And also, I think parents can do a good job of like contacting teachers and the school just to make sure everything's going with good with their child. Just even if their child they don't feel like their child's being cyberbullied, just checking in to make sure they're not missing anything and their child's doing good and can stay making progress in school. Also, I think it'd be good if parents maybe communicated with their child's friends, parents, excuse me, and seeing if their kids heard anything, if they're suspecting something, or just kind of like just communicating with the community around them to see, if their child's okay and everything's good. And I think parents are definitely a good support system for this, and are will be a big help in managing to make sure their child's life is good by talking to people in the community. Also, I think personal intervention is a huge deal. Realizing you're being cyberbullied and that that's not okay, and that there are people out there who can help you, that it isn't normal to be cyberbullied, that it is normal to be cyberbullied, but it's not okay to be cyberbullied. It happens, but you shouldn't let it happen to you, and that you can tell somebody, you can tell your teachers, you can talk to your parents, you can talk to your friends, you can handle the issue, because it's not okay to be cyberbullied. People are cruel in this world, and we need to put a stop to it. And the only way that's possible is if you personally realize, like, I am being attacked by these people or this person, and I need to tell someone. Um, Final thoughts. I think I just wanted to kind of touch on some like intervention like plans. And I think good idea for like kid intervention would be to maybe like hold a seminar or assembly and go over this, like the negatives and what bullying does to children, and talk about how they could possibly commit suicide and how it affects them for the rest of their lives, and how it affects them personally. I think showing other kids that could definitely help put a stop to bullying, because that'll give them a chance to realize what it does. And also, like, put yourself kind of like in the assembly. You'd have the bullies put themselves, think about how you would feel if this was you being attacked. And obviously you wouldn't like it. No one likes to be bullied. And I think a lot of self reflection, like just see how you would feel. And I think that would definitely help, in some cyberbullying. Also, like, maybe some seminars for parents and teachers, like to help them recognize signs of their child being bullied, would definitely be a big help, to stopping their children from either being the bulliers, or stop their child from getting bullied. And yeah, those are my kind of final thoughts. I think I chose cyberbullying because I had a lot of friends who were affected by other people's words and over social media, and I just it kind of was a subject that was near and dear to me. Hope you enjoyed my presentation.